This is the gold 1 month overview reading for the month of July 2023. It's currently May 14th, 2023, 4:39 p.m. Eastern Time. Gold at the time of this reading is currently $2,017 per ounce. That's USD. And the shuffle file for the gold June gold reading was created on May 5th, 2023 at 1:08 p.m. Eastern Time. That's this video here. So the overall theme and behavior for the month, we have a peak that'll stand out on a multi-day scale, like at least a 1 month scale. A peak that forms when we have a poke up through resistance, we stay above it briefly, and then we break back down through the same price level shortly thereafter, creating like a triangular kind of shape with a horizontal resistance or price level going through it. It's crossed with the fast sudden move higher, standing out on a multi-day scale. Behavior around the highest high. The high for July is going to offer a relatively significant trade opportunity that'll stand out on like a year-to-date chart. Behavior around the lowest low. Off of the high, there's a big move. Probably into the high and off of the high, there's a big move. Behavior around the lowest low, there's a significant decline through multiple support levels on the scale of a multi-day chart. Moving into the low. So when I'm looking to determine if we've reached the lowest low, I'm looking for a decline through multiple support levels on a multi-day scale. Before we go any further, let's take a look at April and see how we did. So we have a high here. This is the 12th, 13th. We have a high specified here on the 12th, 13th. So we absolutely nailed that. It happened on both days. We had it here kind of on the fence between the two. We had a low on the 5th. I think we probably were off a little bit on this. There's 5th, 6th. We're a little bit off there. But as far as the trade that we were looking to make, off of the 13th, we would have opened up a short position. Either the 12th or the 13th would have opened up a short position and closed that short position on the 22nd. The 22nd is right here. Another location that it could have been closed is on the 19th or the 20th. So that would have been a pretty solid trade. We're talking about roughly about 50 or 60 bucks. It's a pretty solid trade. So that's solid. And then we didn't have another highest high at the end of the month like we were expecting, but what we did see was a prominent peak or crest that formed right here on the 25th, and we have 25th, 26th as a place for it to form. So there was a prominent crest there, not a highest high. Pretty decent decline on the 9th. All right, pretty decent decline on the 9th, offering an opportunity to open up a long position, which could be closed on the 13th. So this was actually a really solid reading. Aside from being off on this highest high here, we were pretty solid there, guys. You would have made a lot of money following the paid version of that. So let's get into it. On the 1st, we have a decline through multiple support levels. At first, we decline to and through support. We meet a second support. This is on the scale of a multi-day chart. We bump along like that support for a bit, and then we break down through multiple supports. We come up against an important range on a multi-day scale there on the 2nd. There's also a day trade opportunity on the 1st, which I'll talk about in much more depth in the paid version. Guys, if you're interested in the paid version, when you get the paid version of any of these readings, what you're actually getting is, we talk about trades on a multi-year scale, we talk about trades on a 1-year scale, multi-month scale, we talk about trades for the month, what to enter for the long term. You know, there's a bunch of information that you just don't get in the public version, and it's a really great way to support the channel. So check it out, my friends. You go to ESOMeta Services, or ESOMeta Posts, click on that, and then go down to monthly subscription, click here. Pick whichever subscription you're interested in. In this case, we're talking about Bitcoin. Or if you want access to all of the paid versions, it's a steal for $250 a month. Really great way to support. In any case, whatever you choose to subscribe to, we remember everybody that does that, because they're really helping us to fulfill our goals. So thanks for that, guys. So on the 2nd, we come up against an important price range on a multi-day scale. Oh, we got some clear kinetics, super reliable when a card flies out of the deck. It looks like the upper end of a range on the 2nd. And we have a significant move higher, correlating to the second, a fast, sudden move higher, standing out on a multi-day scale. On the third, we establish support, and then we move higher. Looks like there's a trough on the cusp of the second, third, or at the end of the day on the second, and then we have a lower price level or lower trough on the third midday, where we establish support, and then there's a significant move higher that'll stand out on a multi-day scale there. After establishing support on the third, a big move higher on the third. On the fourth, we decline to and through support on a multi-day scale, meet a second support, rotate sideways along it, and then there's an unexpected move out of another trough early in the day on the fifth. There's an unexpected move higher, taking us to a prominent peak or crest for the month. Not a highest high, but it'll be a prominent peak or crest that stands out. On the 6th, we decline off of that prominent peak or crest into the 6th. This decline increases with momentum moving forward in time. We have a trough midday on the 7th and a lot of price change on the 7th. An important technical price level is highlighted on a multi-day scale here on the 7th. It's important resistance. It very well could be where we see the highest high for the month. I think we probably see a highest high there on the 7th. If not on the 7th, then it's it's even more likely to be on the 11th if it doesn't take place on the 7th. So the 7th or the 11th. And so on the 8th, we have a bit of a holding pattern with a pop and drop in it. Congress might be highlighted there. A notable decline on the cusp of the 8th, 9th, moving into the 9th, and then there's a big move higher standing out on a multi-day scale. There's a breakout there. Rally continues into the 10th, but ends on the 10th with a trough towards the end of the day, and then a big move to the upside out of that trough. A rally that offers significant trade opportunity. I'll talk about it in the paid version in more depth. There's a day trade opportunity here and also like a swing trade opportunity, but a notable move higher. And then we also have a correlation to this peak, this pop through resistance. We stay above it briefly and then we break back down through the same price level shortly thereafter. So this could be where the peak is. We might see a double top here, like a high here and then a high here, but it's going to be on one of those days. On the 12th, we have what's most likely, there's a strong likelihood of a lowest low there. Let me just double check. It looks like no, there's no lowest low there. There might be like a lowest price level thus far there, or just a prominent low that stands out on the 12th. But what we're gonna have is an important resistance level. It's an important price level, like for resistance on a multi-day scale. We've come up against this resistance many times before. It's highlighted there on the 12th, and then we have a prominent low or trough that'll stand out on a 1-month chart. It's not a lowest low. It has correlations to the lowest low, but my sense is that it could be a lowest low thus far. In any case, off of that resistance, there's a notable decline. On the 13th, though, we have a rotation along key support, followed by a big move higher, standing out on a multi-day scale, and then the establishment of support at a higher level with some sideways rotation, taking us into the 14th, where we see another prominent crest or peak for the month. We have a failed attempt to break through key resistance there, followed by a decline through key support. That's again on a scale of a 1-month chart. Decline through key support continues into the 15th, where we see a notable trade opportunity in the midst of a decline. There's also a correlation there to a fast, sudden move higher, standing out on a multi-day scale. On the 16th, out of oversold territory, we have a notable move higher. On the 17th, the rally continues into the 17th along a diagonal trend line, breaking through horizontal resistance to meet a second resistance before pulling back to somewhere between those two price levels. A trade opportunity there as well. And around the cusp of the 17th, 18th, we have a sharp drop. A lot of ground covered there on the cusp or early in the morning on the 18th, followed by the type of behavior where you're bumping up against resistance. You might break through resistance, bump up against resistance some more, but you're like bumping along resistance is the Valor card. On the 19th, we might have another lowest low thus far. It's possible. There's usually like a prominent move higher, followed by a full retracement of that move there on the 19th. On the 20th, we have a big move to the upside, a day trade opportunity. And by big move, I mean like maybe the biggest move of the month to the upside. We pushed the upper end of a range higher, and there's a day trade opportunity there I'll talk about in the paid version. We hit a resistance level on the 21st that's highlighted, from which we decline with consecutively lower spikes up on the way down, declining all the way into the 22nd, where we have another prominent trough. It might be close to a lowest low there, but not quite. It'll be an important price level, an important trade opportunity there, because by the end of the day, we have a significant move to the upside, like the cusp of the 22nd, 23rd, significant move to the upside out of the trough, prominent trough on the 22nd. And then there's another big move to the downside, taking us to a prominent trough again on the 23rd. So like kind of like a whipsaw, 22nd, 23rd. But a lot of money that could be made there. I'll talk about that in the paid version. On the cusp of the 23rd, 24th, we have a rally that commences, really picks up steam as we move towards the end of the day, where we reach for a distant resistance level, and there's a crest or peak there on the cusp of the 24th, 25th. We do 3 pokes through the same price level. It's an important price level on a multi-day scale, followed by a sharp drop there on the 25th. On the 26th, is location of our most likely location of our lowest low for the month. There's a notable trade opportunity. We have correlation to move higher through resistance. We stay above it briefly, and then we break back down through the same price level shortly thereafter. And it looks like that decline takes us into the lowest low towards the end of the day. It's a sideways S formation. So we decline from resistance, meet support, reverse, retrace all the way back to resistance, reverse, retrace all the way back to support, creating like a sideways S within a channel. Significant trade opportunity on the cusp of the 26th, 25th. An important resistance level highlighted on a multi-day scale there on the 27th, and that resistance level we'll see volume kind of like flatten out. On the 28th, we may turn that resistance into support, it's possible, or there's just an important support that's relied upon there on the 28th and takes us into an important peak or crest on the 28th at the end of the day. There's multiple failed attempts to break through key resistance on the 29th, followed by a decline into what may very well be the lowest low hit again there on the 29th or possibly the 30th. On the 30th, we have a big decline standing out on a multi-day scale. And then on the 31st, there's a fake out, shakeout of some kind. It looks like it's to the downside, and it actually marks an opportunity, possible opportunity, which I would talk about in the paid version. The sneak preview for the following month is bearish price swings with a sharp drop that'll stand out on a multi-day scale. That is gold for July 2023, my friends. Let me know what you think by hitting that like button. Don't forget to subscribe. Most importantly, make sure to follow that rule of karma. You do so here at the resources tab of our website, Tarot for Traders, where we ask that you take 5% of the profits you make from the information on this channel and donate it forward to one of these charities. Keep the flow of abundance going through the universe. It will arrive full circle back at you by releasing it. So it's important to do that and have wealth mentality. And then we ask that you send 5% of the profits back to the channel here at Cashapp, PayPal, Venmo, or Wise. Much appreciation goes out to all my angel investors doing that. Love you guys. Spend that 90% left over out of love, and the universe is going to send it back to you tenfold from all directions, my friends. Stay tuned. I'm going to get into the paid version next. I'll see you on the next one.